Hello guys. Before I went to Texas, I made a little small clip of Q&As y'all may have, like questions you guys may have, but it seemed like you guys got shy, so but I'm gonna go ahead. I went back and found some questions that have been asked multiple times, or have been asked by our families and friends too, and so I'm gonna go ahead and answer those. The main one that people always ask us is, what will Dustin do when we move? Like when he gets out of the military. And we get why they ask that, because he's been in the military for almost 8 years, and he's gonna go from a military lifestyle to a civilian job. And um, we've heard that it's a hard transition, but we also heard a lot of positive too. So we're looking at the positive of that, and he does have connections here and there. He has past employers that really liked him, and that's kind of like a backup. And he also has friends who, like family friends, who work on military bases there, and they're kind of getting the feel of jobs that are available there, so he can apply for them. And he's waiting for a call back for one Peterson Air Force Base, but we're not holding our breath on that one. But we're just, he's keeping his options open, and he's looking. We'll be moving, and we decided to move in July. He has leave, which is like vacation, paid vacation, but he's under contract with the military for September, until September. But we are moving in July with his leave, so he'll be able to look for jobs there in person, and he won't be working. He'll be at home until he gets out of the military in September, and he can find a job better. That'll be his job will be finding a job when we move there in July. So he'll have until September to find a job. He'll still be getting paid by the military, and he'll be receiving housing allowance, because we will no longer be living in this house. And right now they take the housing allowance away, but because we're living here, so we're not paying rent. But that's gonna cover. He'll receive that money, so we'll be able to pay for a place to live while we're in Colorado, and not stress over that. So that's what he plans to do. He'll be job searching in person in July. And I also have a job interview on May 9th. As a caregiver, I feel like that's going to work great for my family, because it's part-time, and I'm able to still be at home with Justice. And I'm sending in my resume through Indeed.com. I already talked to them in person, and we're having an over-the-phone interview on May 9th. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope I get that job. The next question is, where are we moving to? Obviously, I've said it before, but Colorado. We are moving to Colorado, and the reason why we chose Colorado is because I fell in love with the state when I met my husband. He's from Colorado Springs, Colorado. He was born and raised there, and I'm a Texas girl, but I fell in love with Colorado, and I love the cold weather, and I love the mini seasons. And from South Texas, the only season you get is hot and hotter. So I really love Colorado. I fell in love with it. It's a beautiful state, and we are excited to move back there. We lived there for 3 years before he joined the military. The next one is, what do we do with our leftover money from our budget, like for categories? What we do with that is we put it into our sinking fund, which is like a little, you see it in my videos a lot, where I put my money for our sinking funds. We put that, and we call it overflow. And the reason why we do that, we have seen people who put that towards their debt, but for us, it works better for us to keep that on overflow, because sometimes we use more than what we allow ourselves. Like for example, for household items, we budget $50 a month, and sometimes we use that $50, sometimes we use $30 of that instead, and we put that into overflow, because there's other months that we do use a larger amount, like especially for the summer, when we're buying stuff for like when we had a garden, we bought a lot of soil then, and we used our household money to buy that. Charcoal. In the summer, we add our summer expenses into our household items too, so that uses a larger amount, and that's why we put overflow to prepare for the summer months too. And I mentioned in the past where that our nieces usually come over for the summer. They stay the whole summer with us, and we use a lot of that money for stuff because now we're supporting a family of 5 instead of 3. But this summer they won't be coming because we're moving there instead. The next one will be, do we pay separately for our categories like we're at the store? Do we pay separate for our groceries or our household, or do we combine that together and pay? And that depends. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. It's basic math, so it's not that hard. We do pay it together. We can separate each. I take my calculator with me when grocery shopping, or I use my phone's calculator. And I know I have $100 budget for groceries, and I do that, and then I get my household items at the end because the aisles are closer to the cash register there at the commissary for that. But usually I do separate because I either go when it's not so busy. I like to go when it's not so busy, and I'll separate it with a bar, and it just doesn't take that much longer, honestly. And as long as there's not like a long line behind me, then I have no issue separating it. But usually I buy like the household items mostly at Walmart, just because Walmart is the only place here in our area that carries our dog's dog food. And if they weren't so picky, we'll get different dog food. But Georgia's older, and she can only tolerate Rachel Ray's 6-ingredient dog food. That's the only one that she's able to stomach without puking and without making her sick. So we get hers at Walmart, and we're not making an extra trip because I wait until I have to work because my work is just down the street from Walmart. So I'm not spending any extra gas money or extra time doing that, because as soon as I get off work, I'll go straight over there and get it. And I get off at work at 7 in the morning, so Walmart is pretty empty that early in the morning. Are we doing YouTube for the money? And that's like a yes and no question. It didn't start off that way. It started off because I was under a lot of stress. I had just become a mom through the form of adoption, and not only did I just become a mom, but I became a special needs mom through and we just got a diagnosis that our son has cerebral palsy, and we didn't know much about, and we still don't know that much about. We know a little bit about it more now, but I was under a lot of stress. I needed to find a place for me to connect with other people in similar situations, and I'm glad I started this channel because my number, I think it was 6 or 7 subscriber, Dogs Rock, if you're still watching this, thank you so much. This person introduced me to a cerebral palsy support group for parents and caregivers and family members, and it has been a huge lifesaver for me. I was so overwhelmed, so stressed out. My hair was falling out. My hair is still thin. I have gone on used some medical shampoo that was prescribed to me, and my hair is not falling out anymore. And the stress is not there no more. Like, it's still there, but it's not as bad or as intense. This support group has helped me grow as a mother, and how to be a better mother, and how to understand my son's disability, and how what to expect when he gets older too, because there's a large range group there. There's parents of kids with CP, and there's actual adults who have CP in that group, who have who show us by their experiences, and who give us advice by their own personal experience as a person who has CP, and how they are able to be independent and work and have families of their own. And it's great to see, because CP is a large range for this diagnosis, and not every child is alike, and that's something we have learned, and it's hard not to compare, but it's also great to see other kids and their success, and some therapies may work for others and some may not work for others, and we have learned what works for us, and we are growing and we are learning through this journey, and I am so thankful for this group because it has given me a place to not only learn, but also for me to express my own how I'm feeling, because I too am a person, and um, I'm learning I'm learning as I go, for one, and I'm also realizing that I had to put myself first too, because I had to take care of myself too in order to take care of my son. And I learned a lot through that group, and I'm very thankful for that group. And I met a lot of people, and I met a lot of YouTube channels. Um, there's a lot of parents who do YouTube in the CP group, and I've been following them too on YouTube. And yes, we hope to earn some income through YouTube, through our YouTube channel. We don't care if it's big or small. I mean, we'll prefer the larger income, but anything will help, honestly. Our main goal is for me to be a stay-at-home mom, and that may take a year or two from now, but we hope I can be a stay-at-home mom full time, because as my son gets older, he's gonna require more care, and I'm looking into becoming his caregiver when he needs that in the future. Our last question is, are we going to be buying or renting our next home? Well, we are in the process of buying our home right now. We already gone through, we started a couple months back. We have walked away from one house because it had a lot of issues, and then we found a better home for us. They accepted our offer. We already done the home inspection. We just got done with appraisal last night. We got done with the appraisal. We'll find out the results of that on Monday. And if everything goes according to how it's going right now, we should be closing on our home next week. And yes, we'll be having a house payment while we're still living here for 2 months. But that's the reason why we've been saving so much, because we want to make sure that is covered while we're still here. And then in July, we'll be getting housing allowance, because we're not going to be living here no more. And that's going to cover not only our mortgage, but it's also going to cover our utilities while we're there. And because it's going to be under what our housing allowance is. And so that's money we're going to be able to pocket, but we're not pocketing it because it's covering other expenses like utilities. And we're going to add that into our budget, and you'll see that in our budget once we start receiving that in July. But we won't be stressing about paying for our mortgage until September, because that housing allowance is going to cover that. And then we should have jobs before September. We're hoping to find jobs quickly as soon as we get there. Like I said, I have a job interview, and that may not cover all the bills, but it's gonna help out a lot. And the reason why we decided to buy is because we're ready to settle down. We're ready to plant our roots, and we want to do it there in Colorado. And well, one of our main reasons was because we were originally going to be moving to a small town, and there was no rental properties there at all whatsoever. We had my mother-in-law looking. We had my husband's stepdad's dad, who was a landlord there, looking, and all of his rentals were full, and he was trying to find places. We even talked to realtors there, and all the rentals were full there, and the only rentals that were available were low income housing, which we do not qualify for right now. So we're using the VA loan, and we like that because of the no down payment. And we also like the fact that we can pay off our loan quicker, like earlier, without being penalized. And that's something we plan to do. We plan to pay off our mortgage quicker than the 30 years. Ideally with Dave Ramsey is 15 years is what he recommends, but we do follow Dave Ramsey, but not completely entirely, because we like to get a little bit from everywhere and see what works for our family. And but we do like that the 15 years, that sounds more appealing. And so that's what we like about the VA loan, that we are able to pay off our loan quicker without being penalized compared to other loans. And is so yeah, if everything works out, we'll be closing in 1 week. And it's an exciting and scary thought. We have not seen the home in person. We are completely put our trust into our realtor and our home inspectors. They are lovely people. We have talked over the phone with them, and they are so detailed, and they our realtor and the home inspectors have been in great communication with us, and they have sent us detailed pictures. Anything we asked for they have gone over and beyond, and we love them. And we also have family members who have driven by the property, and they have told us, give us their insight on it, and yeah, we are excited. We like the pictures online. Like I said, we trust our realtor, so she feels like this is a great home, and we do too. We have that feeling about that home, and we can't wait to see it in person. I know it's not your typical home buying experience, but it's we're kind of far. We can't really drive 16 hours there to see a home. It's not within our budget right now. We just went to, it's not within our budget, and it's not within our timeline right now. We can't use any more of his leave because he needs that leave to move there to Colorado so he can look for a job. So that's our main goal, is to save that leave. Well, this is all for the Q&A. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment area. Thank you for watching. Bye.